And for more on this big weekend for Republicans, let's bring in NewsNation political contributor Johanna Maska, who served in the Obama White House, and Republican political strategist Elizabeth Zinn. Thank you both for joining us. And I actually want to start with you, Elizabeth. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis giving a speech today in California. What kind of message is he sending to voters in these recent speaking engagements in primary blue states while Donald Trump is addressing his base?
Thank you for having me, Natasha. And what I see DeSantis doing here is stepping across lines and moving outward to other groups that don't necessarily always get to have these kind of meetings. And on a day like the CPAC, what you're looking at here is what he's saying without saying is he wants to test the waters to see how the party's going to move forward. Are they going to be with him if he's the one who gets the nomination, or are they going to split? Is this going to be a split within the party for Trump?
Right. Johanna, last night, Trump did not seem to mention any of his conservative opponents by name. He sort of made these vague references to some policies. Is this a sign that he is concerned about the influence DeSantis and others will have on today's GOP?
No. I think it's interesting because CPAC has come under some scrutiny. Matt Schlapp, who is the head of CPAC, allegedly there's a former campaign aide of Herschel Walker who accused him of groping him. And so it's come under a lot of controversy. And so notably, Donald Trump addressed Matt Schlapp over and over and over in a 2-hour speech, but, didn't acknowledge that DeSantis is gaining on him. And it reminds me so much of the moment that we were in at the very beginning of the Iowa caucuses with President Obama, because everyone said Hillary is the person to beat. She is going to undoubtedly take this election and run with it. And the truth was actually that Obama had the momentum and the enthusiasm on his side. And if you look at DeSantis right now, he sold out that audience at the Reagan Library in record time. I mean, people were buying tickets. The same with the dinner that he's doing in Orange County. And that was the other thing that was Obama's real strength early on, was that we were fundraising. And so I remember he came to Kansas when, we had a Democratic governor. He was fundraising for us, Obama. And it is kind of that moment where the Republican Party is trying to figure out what their future is going to be. And I think we need to look no farther than DeSantis, because he really is energizing that audience right now, whether it's in California or in Texas or next in Iowa.
Interesting. And Johanna, we'll stay with you for a moment. Who should President Biden feel more confident in facing in 2024, Trump or DeSantis?
Well, I'm reading DeSantis's book, and I have to admit, I think if we run Biden against DeSantis, we will have a very difficult time. Look, DeSantis has a reason for his positions. You may not agree with them, especially, him going after Disney is a move that's very unusual for a Republican and very targeted in the aftermath of the Don't Say Gay bill, which he, correctly points out does not have the words "Don't Say Gay" anywhere in there. DeSantis has new ideas. He also will buck establishment. He went to Congress and he went after the slush fund that congressional leaders were using to pay out for sexual harassment charges. So he's actually got ideas. And the issue is, he's my generation, our generation. He's 44 years old. He's got a beautiful wife and family. He's young, and his wife is kind of dynamite little warrior for him. She goes, door to door on a scooter. And so, I think we're going to have a challenge there. And Dr. Biden is phenomenal, but it's a different generation, and we may not have the ideas, especially, as a mom. When we had our schools closed in California for a very long time, it was very hard for a lot of people. And he has the card that he kept schools open. So I do think that Democrats need to fear DeSantis.
Johanna, I hear you. I appreciate it. And with the time we have, I do want to go back over to Elizabeth. Do you agree with Johanna? Does Biden have something to fear in DeSantis? Would he have a more difficult time with a matchup against DeSantis than Trump?
Yes, actually, to tie off what Johanna said, DeSantis is building up a lot of tension by doing what he's doing and reaching out. Tension within the party.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.